All right, we're live again. Good.
Gucci?
Yeah, we're good.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Don't Be Mad podcast. We had a little stumble on the first go around, but we are back, and hopefully you can hear us. I'm your boy Matthew, aka Lefty Lucky, and I'm joined here as always with
Jamali.
And Jason, what's up?
And we got our special guests here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Taigenz. Taigenz, Taigenz. The trick about my name is that you pronounce it once, you'll never forget it.
I appreciate you saying Zed, by the way.
Yeah. Zed.
Not the American
No,
way.
no.
It's Z.
So yeah, it's a nice Tuesday evening. We're all just kicking back here, trying to jolt ourselves up. We'll lower the volume a bit so Mike doesn't pick that up. And yeah, like I said, we got our special guest here, Taigenz, with us. What's really going on with us, guys? How was the week? How's the mental health? How have you all been?
It's been a good week, bro.
Everybody's
week
on
just
their
started.
phones. Well, I mean, I haven't seen you guys in a while, so.
Yeah. Some of us choose to come out and record. Others choose to stay at home.
Yeah, I took a wicked nap last week, and by the time I realized what time it was, because he called me at like 8 o'clock, it was like way too late.
Really?
I was watching a bit of the last week's one just on the way here, and it was like, oh, they're dissing you.
Oh, they're allowed to diss me. It's okay.
Of course. He knows. We do it to his face all day, every day.
There's no we. I didn't say anything.
Of all of us here, I have the thickest skin, so it's okay.
That's what he believes.
You know, you take a little pot shot of Jamali, and he starts freaking out. And
I'm a very
gets very
passionate
defensive.
person.
Facts.
I'm
He's
passionate.
easily offended.
Facts. Yeah,
I'm not easily offended.
No,
I'm just passionate.
He's already
passionate.
raising his voice. He's already raising his voice. See, it's the littlest of things that sets him off.
He's sensitive. That's why.
I know you are. It's okay.
Hey,
We love you all the same, bro.
if you say so.
So, how's your music been going, man? I know you've been all around the city. You just came from an interview from the
Yeah.
radio station. I don't know if you want to announce which one and
Yeah,
let the people know what was going on.
I think by now the broadcast is already done for their side. So I was at CIBL, so down on Saint Laurent, St. Catherine. That was the French radio station. I was there for La Sauce show. Shout out to La Sauce for having me. And I was just out there promoting my single that just came out on Friday.
Hey, what's the name of the single?
It's called Vague. Like literally like the expression we use here, like vague.
Yeah.
And,
Just so the people know what to
it's a
search on like
Quebec thing.
Spotify and everything.
Nah, not even Kiss a Montreal thing, man. Fuck it. I mean, not fuck it.
Oh, you really don't want to big up Quebec, bro? Just Montreal?
Nah, for this particular one, just Montreal, bro. If you're
Representing
in Quebec, you got to come down to Montreal so you can really understand. It'll work in Quebec, it's fine. Shout out to Quebec, but it's a
That's
Montreal
blessed,
thing.
man.
So that's I just since it came out, I've just been trying to do my own promo for it. The day it dropped, actually, I was in Toronto. I was there for a conference. I was invited for a hip hop conference called the Northern Power Summit. So shout outs to D.O. Gibson. He was the guy who said that he's one of the main heads that set it up. So it's a hip hop summit they do every year. I think this is their third or fourth year. I think it's their fourth. Third? Fourth? I don't know. One of the other. And this year I was one of the official artists that were invited to showcase and perform. So it's cool to be able to perform in front of like guys in the industry, network with other artists from different markets and things like that. And it's cool stuff because that day I performed was the day I performed that song. So it's like, obviously it's like the concept of it is very Montreal based, but I think I put it in a way where it's still digestible in different markets. As long as, as I was on stage, I gave him like a quick breakdown of just like how I came up with the song and why that expression is an expression here on this side. And overall they felt it, I had a good feedback from them.
Oh, it's good because the fact that you have that specific like Montreal setting type of song, but you're able to bring it over there. It's showing like you're not really just trying to be another hip hop artist that's essentially biting styles of other places, but you're bringing your own culture, your own background, and your own city along with you where you go. So it's kind of like a perfect timing to have that song be the one that's like your feature at the moment.
Exactly.
When you go there.
That's what I like to do. Like you said, like I try to bring a bit of everything that is me to an extent. Like, obviously like born and raised here. So I'm going to have a bit of what goes on here, but also like I'm very aware of my African culture. Like my family's from Cameroon. So I try to use that at least now in the last few years than much earlier when I was like spitting and making music with all my boys back in the hood. Like now it's like, okay, I'm tapping into different creative pools when I just switch up the lingo or switch up the culture and things like that, and I put it all together, and then it's cool because I can do things that obviously it's a work in progress, but I can do things that I esteem commercially digestible without feeling like I have to appeal to commercial.
I know
like,
exactly what you mean.
I can package it commercially, but the content is still me to a core, and you can still anybody can hear it. It's like, oh shit, like,
and like if ever there was a time to like really tap into that cultural side, because I mean, you look like Afropunk is becoming so big, and you're looking at hip hop in itself. It's branching into like the Caribbean, African, even like the UK scene. Everything is like very much we're trying to step away from just like that 808s type of sound and really just give a little bit of ourselves, our DNA, and our history to it as well.
And even with that, because obviously like the American market is still the behemoth and everything, especially but you take what works there and then you still apply it to what you do on your side of the world, and that way, like, it could still, if it blows up, it has the ingredients of what works in the American market already, but you still have your cultural side and you're bringing something new to the table, which I think as an artist, especially every artist, they always try to find that. At least every artist in the music industry, building this as a career, they always try to find the sweet spot of like, okay, I don't want to do what's on top 40, but I can't be so completely left where like before I'm even a success, before I'm even a success, I'm gonna eliminate myself from the game. So it's like you try to find that sweet spot, and I think now. In different markets, that's being more acceptable. Like, we know what's the sweet spot, we know what's the commercial hit, but we don't have to tailor ourselves to that format 100%. Because we think we're back in the day. Like, I was reading an article actually the other day. Thanks to I got it from listening to Joe Budden podcast. He was talking, and he mentioned the article that one of the heads of Spotify said the conventional hit is. Oh yeah, I remember he was talking about the conventional hit is disappearing, like and you can hear it, it's the typical at least the hit for the masses, back in the 90s and 2000s. You have the rapper, you have the R&B hook, the R&B
rap,
the R&B bridge, so verse, hook, or even hook, verse, hook, bridge, back to the hook. So the like that's 3 minutes and 35 seconds, but the rapper only appears twice, but it works for the top 40. It works for,
it translates well on radio. It's good in parties,
and it's normally those are normally the tracks for girls. Because girls
you have like a softer side of
exactly, and girls consume. Girls are one of the, there's one thing I realize is like, you can't neglect women, because in terms of consumerism, in terms of buying stuff, I don't know, it's weird, but like women buy stuff.
Well, like the perfect example of like that format would be like Method Man and Mary J. Blige.
Exactly.
Like that is literally like the prototypical.
And that song is it's amazing. It's dope when it could come out amazing. It doesn't sound like even that song Method Man. It didn't seem like it was left field for Method Man.
Because it's crazy because you hear Method Man like Wu-Tang, and he's like one of the hardest people in Wu-Tang, and then you get this song where he's coupled up with Mary J. Blige, and it's like it's still hard, but it's like it's a softer side of his hardness, and you still think he's gonna like smack the shit out of you if you fuck around with his girl, but he's like professing his love to her, and that really became like that prototypical format of you can take literally any type of rapper, put them with an R&B artist, and hook, verse, hook, verse, boom, and it's gonna work every single time.
But now it's not necessarily the case, like especially with the way music is consumed, and we're really exposed now to different ways, different types of music, different types of concepts and sounds and things like that. So it's like that quote unquote format is not necessarily the go-to anymore. At least that's the trend.
Like it's still around, because I think
it's still around.
The last time I think it really like worked and it hit was Meek Mill and PNB Rock. The Dangerous.
Yeah.
I think like that's like the last time I think it really helped
because
hit.
you had an old school sample on it, so
exactly.
I remember that. But like I remember one song where I just completely got turned off by that formula. It was a few years back when Jeezy dropped "Seen It All," and he has a song with August Alsina. Like that song, it's like okay, like the whole album worked.
It's
except for
forced.
that
like,
song.
You
It's like
knew exactly
you just
why
had
that
to put
song
that
was,
song. Yeah, you know that's
it's like
label
you need
work.
that radio
It's
single,
like,
and
you know. And I was
yeah.
listening. I was like,
Yeah.
I know why he did it.
Yeah, it was definitely forced.
You know, but when it does work, like it does work, and you know, like you said, like the Meek Mill track with PNB Rock is one example. I'm sure even on the new Rick Ross album, it's the song he has with Summer Walker.
That's
like
a pretty good
That's a dope record.
That's a dope record. So it's, when it could come out like that, like I have no problem recognizing the formula, but it's like we just want it to still be good, right?
But
Yeah,
he's one of those
exactly.
artists that's known for producing records like that.
Yeah.
Like he's always been on his
He has a
melodic.
very good ear for.
Or even Wale. Wale is a prime example of.
Yeah, he does that a
but
lot
he
as well.
excels in that. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like it's not even the formula; it's his formula that just works with that. You know, so it's
Because the one thing with Wale is like he really puts himself into like that poet type of artist.
The fact that he can drop a poem at the beginning of the song, in the middle as a bridge.
You don't really like, although he can be one of those just like kill you with bars type of rapper.
Yeah,
he's always been that one that's like more poetic, more imagery. Like he's gonna give you different concepts that aren't conventional.
Exactly.
And the way he does it is, like I said, it's very poetic. It will fit into that scheme even if it's not the format that is the radio format. Just the way he presents it, him all by himself can be that format. You know?
Can still work. So but yeah, just to go back to, so that's like taking that into consideration. That factors in a lot to how I construct songs. Like I don't want to like, you know, when I write stuff, like obviously I write first just to write.
Yeah.
But then okay, you want songs where if potentially it get picked up by radio, it's like, does it have the radio elements that they need? You know, but just enough for them to take it, and just enough for you to be like, okay, like I'm happy with this.
Exactly.
You know, getting, you know, radio play all over the place, and it doesn't sound corny. Like my thing is, I just don't want to, you know, I just want to make sure my shit don't sound corny. I mean, I may do some things that eventually get corny, whatever, but it's like you always want to limit that. But as long as
it's like something you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're just doing it because you're being told to do it, then I would say that's corny. But if you're just artistically inspired to make something, and it's a bit cheesy.
But then also who cares? I also know on the flip side, sometimes those type of songs benefit you in the long run as an artist just because of the association. Like if like how many rappers got the boost from like Chris Brown, for example, just because Chris Brown was on the record. So it's like it helps them get that foot up in the
Chris Brown, the Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting that hook, so it helps them get a foot up in the game, in the industry. Let it do its numbers that it'll do, because just off the strength of the feature, and then from there it's like, okay, now I got you guys' attention. This is what I'm really about. Yeah, you know. So you gotta weigh both sides too. So I definitely recognize both sides of that viewpoint. So I'm depending on what song it is, depending on where I go, like you know, as an artist, you know, you're convinced about one thing, but then you could switch up like last second, and then you know the people around you might give them a headache, but then you got to bring it back. So you got to, all this comes with it, but it all makes for the ride too. So I mean, when I was able to present the song in Toronto, and like they were just generally feeling it, you know, they knew that, you know, it's I'm from a different city, and they felt like this guy came up to me and he told me, he's like, yo, like your voice cuts, which is good. Like it cuts through, like, you know, you clearly seem like you have a grasp on what you're doing, you know. So when I get compliments like that, it's like, okay, like I'm doing something right, you know, even if it's 1 out of 50 people that tell me that, but it's like, okay, that's it's always good to get those little types of, whether it's criticism or positive feedback.
Because even like for us, when we do this, like I always tell people all the time who listen to us, I wanted the good and the bad.
Yeah,
like I wanted,
it's necessary
for us to improve.
It's definitely necessary.
You know, like I don't take the negative criticism as like they're just slandering us. Like no, if there's something that you didn't like, we would like to know that, so that way we can improve upon it in the future. You know, if everybody's just patting us on the back and saying, yo, you're doing a good job.
What I hate,
I only grow so much.
You know, the comment I hate the most is, yeah, it's cool.
Because then I know it's like, you're not watching, or you're not.
I would rather
attention.
you tell me, yo, this is trash.
Yeah.
Or like if you generally find it amazing, be like, yeah, it's amazing. All right, cool. Yeah. But if you don't like it, like tell me, like, yo, I don't like this. It's trash for me.
No, I'm with you on that.
Everybody got a different way of. Everybody feels things differently, So
I
it's
think
cool.
Jason wants to say something.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say in the part where you guys were talking about the being a feature on the hook.
Yeah.
Like Nate Dogg was doing that for so many people.
Nate was like the king of that.
Nate was like
Nate.
Nate Dogg was
Rest in
just
peace.
ridiculous.
Like there's a few names when you just think of like those hook features.
Wasn't it
Like
his birthday recently that they said? They
yesterday
Yeah,
he
yesterday.
would have turned 50 years old. R.I.P. to Nate Dogg, man, one of the greatest
Yo,
feature artists ever.
I was on my computer and I refreshed my browser and it was refreshed with the story that he had passed.
Yeah,
It was like 1:30 in the morning. And I was like, oh shit, like.
and hands down has the best line in all of hip hop. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
The most iconic line in hip hop history.
Jamali's face.
Yo, you can make that face all you want, but the second someone goes, hey, 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 everybody knows what comes next. Every single person knows what comes next.
That's a concrete moment that'll never
Never be
that'll
replicated
never
again, man.
be replicated and will never disappear.
Yeah.
You have
Jamali,
to,
And
Jamali,
you know
say what
it's
you
a
feel.
fact.
Me? I
Yeah,
love
say-
Nate Dogg.
but
I hope so.
No, I don't
oh, okay.
I just don't fuck with West Coast music like that.
Oh,
but
I do though.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah, I
yo,
do.
that was like my first influences in hip hop, man. Like
nah.
it's what like
Snoop was like one of my
Still
first
Dre, bro.
favorite
Still, yo,
artists ever.
Still Dre and Forgot About Dre. I think it's Forgot About Dre is what like
Yeah. Like put that fire.
yeah.
in you.
That put that seed in my head. It's like yo, like
Nah, straight
this
East
track is,
Coast.
I don't know if it was because of Dre, because it was
You're
Eminem,
wildin',
or just
bro.
because their collaboration. Because like Eminem was one of the first rappers that like I was influenced by. Like
Really?
yeah, I swear, a lot of
White boy?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had Marshall Mathers LP was probably one of the first hip hop albums I ever listened to, at least from.
That's a classic
from
album,
Taigenz.
man.
Marshall Mathers LP. I knew it wasn't even my album. It was my neighbor, and
Those good
he
old
had
days.
it. He had it on CD, and the only place at the crib when I was a kid was my parents' room that played CD. Everything else, like what I was using in my room, was cassette players.
Yeah.
So it was CD. So and it was summertime at least. So in the daytime, my parents are at work and I'm at home. So that was like, all right, cool. I can listen to the album.
You're wilding out.
Because like the song starts with fuck. Like when I was a little boy, mom used to tell me all these, like this and his mom right from the get go.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that. So I'm listening to the album. It's like late afternoon, so I'm like, I'm in my mom's room, my parents' room, just listening to the album. Then I hear my mom's keys. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I stop it. I hide the CD under my, like, put the case and hide it under my t-shirt. Because my mom, you know, black moms, like, they'll see you, when they see that you're hiding something, they'll probe you. They'll be like, what are you doing? Nothing. Why are you saying, what's behind you? What's,
you're lying.
Yeah. So, like, I say hi, and, like, the way I'm holding this, like, clip, you're a little kid, you have, like, a big-ass case, like, sticking out of your t-shirt, bro.
Like, you're not
So,
even
like,
being slick
I'm
about
not being
it.
slick. I'm like, oh, she looks at me, she's like, what is under your shirt? I'm like, nothing. She's like, let me see. Yo, I ran through the back door to give it back to my neighbor. I'm like, yo, take this CD.
You guys
Because then my mom's going to want to listen to it. It's going
That
to...
you're
Oh,
done.
exactly,
you're
you know?
dead,
And
bro.
I'm a kid. Like, I'm what? I was like 8, 9 when that album came out.
Oh, yeah, you were fucking
So
young,
so
bro.
it's like, and this is like, it's not like before hip hop, I was listening to a lot of techno.
Yeah.
I was a techno head at like 7, 8, 9 years old. Techno head and punk.
Word.
So like, it's like a whole switch where it's like, yo, and techno and punk is not the same thing in
Yeah,
terms of,
definitely not the same.
especially at that time, you know,
Yeah.
like punk had a rebellious side
was
of
like
it, but it was like, and also like,
It was just fucking like that underground type of.
yeah, like,
It was just reckless anarchy, like fuck the
Exactly,
establishment, like it was
fuck the
fucking
establishment,
sick.
fuck rules, fuck authority,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
and hip hop was not the
Wasn't
same.
my
like,
thing.
That's how you get your ass beat when you start repeating
Yeah,
those
yeah.
songs.
Oh my gosh. No, I knew like
Oh,
it's
it's a fucking
crazy.
shit,
I
though,
had
man.
I tell myself a lot of things when I was young, and like when you teach yourself the awareness to not curse or know what is profanity around your
Yeah.
parents without them ever telling you. Like my parents never told me like, don't listen, like this is bad. Like I figured it out. I'm like, okay, I'm
I
not gonna
think
play.
most black kids.
I
figure that
think
shit
so. I'm
out.
like, I'm not gonna play this.
You make one false move and you're
Yeah, like
fucked.
I'm not gonna. I know this word shouldn't be said at home. I know this is a messed up expression. I know this, so it's like, so like when she saw me with the CD, I was like, I just ran, and I think she forgot about it because I stayed outside for like an hour. I didn't go back in immediately.
This guy was like, I'm not taking
Yo,
it.
Hand out the CD, go to the park.
And then but then since then I got into Forgot About Dre, because then the next album was 2001.
Yeah.
My older cousin had 2001 from his boy, so he was playing 2001. I was like,
Fucking
yo, like
Chronic was so good.
Explosives.
That was a dope record.
Yo,
The Chronic was
when I heard
both
Explosives,
Chronics
forgot
are
about
fucking
Dre.
amazing, man.
Are you
The
guys still waiting
Watcher.
for the detox?
No, but the Detox was Compton.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
essentially
really?
what
Yeah,
Detox
that's
became. It was
exactly what
Compton.
I'm convinced that's what it was. He probably threw Detox away because apparently he
Yeah.
made Compton in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yo, Jamali.
for sure. He just took a lot of the old beats that he had for
Maybe, or the
Detox, switched
concepts,
them
and
up,
then
put artists all over it, and he was
Man,
done.
that album was not coming out.
That album.
no,
was
he made
wild.
that. He made
album was never
listen.
coming out.
I remember when Compton album came out. I'm like, "Hi, Dre just made this to be like, yo, listen, here's your
Yeah,
album.
here's your
Leave
album.
me the
Like,
fuck
fuck
alone.
off.
I'm out. Like, take your album, man. Like,
Look, once he got all that money from Beats headphone, he
Yeah.
was like, I
and then
really
like,
don't need
and,
to do
and you can
anything
tell
else.
you can tell that was his attitude because there was no like post rollout game. Like,
Yeah,
No.
he dropped the album.
it just
no
came with
videos.
the movie, and that was it.
The movie came out, okay, and maybe the songs in the movie fine, but then that's it. And the
Yeah.
album had some a lot of people don't like the album. I
No, I liked
the
it,
Yeah,
man.
some
The
good-
track with
Yeah.
Anderson Paak
Sequencing,
was so
the
good.
production, the feat.
Yeah.
Like that's how
But
I
it's a
knew.
Dre production.
That's how I learned of Anderson Paak,
Yeah,
and like
a lot
he
of people
killed
were
all
from
the
that.
songs. He Criminals. I think that was a song.
Yeah.
Please don't.
No, it was Criminals the one with
It wasn't Criminal. It's not called Criminals.
because I think it was
Animals.
the one with Kendall. Yeah, Animals.
Animals. Towards the end of the album, like that song's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay.
But I remember the first time I heard Pac was the song he has on Venice, like trying to be high. I can't remember if that's the title,
okay.
but like that was like the first time I heard. I didn't know who he was. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking dope ass song, you know. And then I heard that Venice album, Malibu came out.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like everything
Yo,
with Compton, but
Malibu-
like when Malibu came out, it was like
Bro, I'm
full force for him, and I was like,
Malibu.
yo,
I
convinced
slept
this
on
guy's
it.
the next.
I slept on Malibu for like at least 4 to 5 months after it coming out,
Crazy.
and like there was a time when he came on and he came to Montreal for a free show, and I didn't bother going because I'm like, yo, whatever. Time to
That was when he was on Crescent, no?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then
Dude, you
this
missed
is
out.
the summer, and then that summer it was because Malibu came out early 2016.
Yeah.
June 2016, I go to Cameroon to go see my family. And then on the way there, I just had a bunch of albums. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to Malibu. It's like 2 weeks after the show in Montreal. Listen to Malibu. I fell in love with it. Right? I've had that album.
Dude, it's
That
so
that was my
fucking good,
trip.
man.
That was my trip in. That was my music. In
Yeah,
Cameroon. Every day I was listening to album A to Z back and forth.
it's such a good album.
And I was like, yo, this guy was in Montreal 2 weeks ago for free. I beat
I was
myself
there.
so bad. I beat myself up so
crazy.
badly.
I was there, man. I had a
like-
great time.
and like I felt like that was because his album came out, I wasn't really messing with it.
yeah. No, I actually the latest one I liked a lot.
Oxford? No, not
No,
Oxford,
the when it came after Oxnard.
I didn't even listen to that because I was so turned off by Oxford.
Because like Oxnard, I was like, it was okay.
Oh,
There's like a
Oxnard,
few
yeah.
tracks I liked, but I felt like it was because it was such a divert from what Malibu was.
Yeah.
Especially like with like what he did with like No Worries.
yeah,
Like it was such a shift. And there were a few that I liked, a few that I didn't, but then the one that came out, I can't remember the name of it. But that one felt like it was
Yeah.
going back to just give me that R&B soul, you
Yeah.
know, like, and that's what he did on that.
because he
one.
doesn't even have he doesn't necessarily have a genre per se. Like I don't want to call him an R&B artist.
It's like
But it's
R&B,
like, he
jazz,
does soul, he can do
neo
soul, he can do
soulish,
soul,
yeah. Like he's all
like some
he's
kind of
within that
yeah,
pocket of like
yeah.
urban,
Because he's
like,
mad
music.
diverse. Like he plays every instrument, or at least like
Yeah, he plays
the
a lot of
drums,
music.
I think guitar, keys, or some shit
Yeah.
like that. I don't know.
He plays a lot of
And
instruments.
vocalist, and he raps. Like when he starts spitting, like he's spitting. It's like
Yeah.
yo, he's nice. So
Never got into his shit, but I know I've heard some of
Nah,
his stuff.
John,
It's pretty
honestly, you would really like his stuff, man.
all this to
He's
say,
really-
I
I'm
can't
not
believe you don't
surprised.
like West Coast shit.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, but we grew
Bro.
up on like
good. No, it's straight up
East Coast
Snoop, bro.
Dude, I grew up on all of
Snoop,
it, man.
Dre,
His voice is annoying as fuck, bro.
Snoop.
Yes.
Oh, you're
I-
crazy.
killing me. I
You're
need
crazy.
some
I'm just saying, personally.
Crazy.
Why am I
Like growing
crazy?
up, I was like
No,
fortunate
hold on
enough
a
that like
second.
my aunt and uncle
Why am I
had
crazy? Because I don't like someone's voice?
Yo, listen, Doggy Style is a classic.
some of the most prominent rappers in the world.
I'm not taking away what he has done.
No, I
I'm
hear
just
you.
saying it's just
have
not
the-
my thing.
Yeah, you have the right to not like
Yeah.
his voice, and a lot of people get turned off just by the voice of somebody, you know. So
I
hear you.
don't find him to be creative as an artist. I think he's unique, but I don't think he's creative. Like I like creative people.
that time.
Like-
Actually, he just recently put out an album too.
Well,
he
no,
just
I didn't hear
yeah,
that.
it just
no, when it comes to like West Coast music, the reason I don't like it is it sounds too much the same. West Coast music all sound the same.
Like, I mean,
it
I
really
think
doesn't though.
lyrics are different.
Like, I'm-
a G
but beat is the
Funk.
same
That,
thing.
the
Yeah,
only people
exactly
from
like-
the West Coast that I fuck with heavy is Dom Kennedy,
Kendrick.
Kendrick,
okay,
for sure Nipsey.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Hustling the House was like one of those first.
Like
project
Project
that I
House
was like-
is the perfect template of a West Coast anthem, and it's like perfectly done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
He's
so
spitting
for
fire,
like
YG's another one who's
stars,
sick
everything.
as fuck.
you know what I mean. Like who else do I listen?
But then
to
like
in
even
the
like
West
going
Coast?
back to like the classic stuff, you know, like you look at someone like Snoop, we mentioned Dre already. You had
even
what,
Exhibit.
MCA,
I was an Exhibit fan.
Exhibit, of
I was
course.
an Exhibit
Ice
fan.
Cube,
When they made a West Side Connection, Dub C.
Yeah.
213.
Ooh.
Come on, bro.
Warren G was nice.
Warren G's a
Come
nice
on,
rapper.
Warren
bro.
G is nice. I think Warren G didn't get his just dues. I think Warren G could have had a bigger
Definitely
career than
didn't
he
get
had.
his just dues.
And he's Dr. Dre's stepbrother, if I'm correct,
Uh,
or cousin.
probably
But
because I don't know what the relate, but I think they are family.
They have a relation, and
The
like
corrupt
they
ass
have-
Dillinger.
but they don't have a song together. Warren G and Dr. Dre never actually worked together. I read that's like that's crazy. Like, but
Nah,
that's
nah.
corrupted. Like that whole I think what I think what made me a fan was just the synergy that they have, because it's like it doesn't seem like anything is forced among them. They just
They're just
I don't know. I
getting-
just
it's
find
like
West
spit,
Coast
man.
music to be just
It's tired, dog.
It's
It needs to fall
annoyingly
asleep.
it does
redundant.
Absolutely not
and
tired.
And that was
You're saying Ty Dolla $ign's tired?
no. I'm not talking about West Coast now. I'm talking about because music in itself has
is the
changed.
game part of that? Because I'm a big fan of the game. At least when
Nah,
it came
game
out.
is
No,
different.
but the
Definitely
game is
part of
not
that.
part. The game is like the beginning of where like West Coast really rap. Like to me personally, I don't find like Snoop, all these
Okay,
guys.
no, I know what you mean, because
Like-
the game started really focusing
think
on
Ice Cube
spitting
didn't
first
really
before,
rap?
Like I like metaphor. Like Ice Cube was before my time.
Yo,
So,
Jamal, I know what you're talking about. He
So-
likes metaphors. Like
I like
bringing up
metaphors.
Jadakiss.
I like real rap. Like I don't
Those
like
that feel
shit
rap.
that sound cool and
No, but that's what I
I like
appreciated.
bars,
That's
bro.
Fine, real
But you're not
rap.
bars.
Okay,
Bars. He's
okay.
talking about. He's
I like
talking
No,
about-
bars,
I know
bro.
what he's saying, but he wants bars. I
I like
get it,
clever
and I
shit.
guess that's why
He wants
Kendrick more
spiritual,
fits.
miracle,
No,
lyrical.
no, you
Fuck that. I don't listen to Eminem and his crazy
I
shit.
can understand
That's
why
way
you
before Eminem, bro.
gravitate around Kendrick too, because Kendrick gives you that.
Yeah, I like that.
Kendrick gives you that.
Like
Kendrick gives you
even
that
when
to
it
an
comes to
extent.
like real like music as it is now, like I listen to Joe Budden, all his mode
Yo,
music.
I was
Mood music.
Joe Budden when you dropped Padded Room.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
fuck
that was a fucking
That
sick
was I heard when I
mixtape,
heard
bro.
In My Sleep
Oof.
and then Excess.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, like
That's music, right?
that's why
Padded Room was
like when he
something
dropped
else,
in his
man.
podcast, like the number 3 part, and then he was playing his shit.
But you know,
I was
and
like,
that's
yo.
the funny thing about it too is like
It's fucking crazy.
when that list came out, whoever put him as number 3, I was saying like, as far as rapping,
Yeah, it was like, yo,
I could make that argument.
Number
Oh hell
three,
yeah,
Joe Budden.
Joe Budden
Rapping.
Rapping.
Hey,
Bro,
we're just talking
yes.
rapping.
No.
We're just talking
No,
rapping.
you guys
I'm
are
not talking
crazy.
about music,
No,
like
rapping.
who makes the best
No,
song.
but
I'm
rap,
talking about
ability
rapping.
to rap,
Yeah,
ability
he's
to
I
rap,
can
definitely
make
top
that
five.
argument.
ability to
No.
rap. At least
Never.
give him top 10
He's top
Top
I
five.
can,
Top
I can
10,
give
maybe.
him. I
Not
can
top
make the
three.
argument.
Not
top
three.
five.
because if it's just talking ability to rap, Tupac goes down in my list.
Oh yeah,
Because
Oh, hell yeah.
Tupac was not the best.
he was not the
no,
best
no, no,
rapper.
was the best rapper,
Bro, like when
What
you
he
listen-
was like he's a poet in a sense where
Yes,
he
yes.
makes you feel what he's talking about.
Right.
But when it comes to like technical rapping,
Nah, bro. No one
I
like
can put Joe
there's
Budden
a
up
few
there.
people out there that I can't even put above Joe. Like they probably level with Joe. Like Styles
well, there's a few
P.
people that are automatically behind him because they lost him in battles.
Bro.
So it's like that's
Bro,
simple.
Yo, Styles P's nice though. Styles P's
But
nice.
that's what I'm saying. I'm just
Don't
saying.
disrespect Styles P,
You
right?
can't put Styles P. You can't put Joe Budden above Styles P. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying.
I'm just saying they
doing that.
level.
I'm
They
saying if
level
we're
with
gonna
each
have a
other.
conversation about technical rapping,
Yo, if
I
we're just
can
talking
make an
technical
argument.
rapping,
There's no argument.
Joe Budden's there.
How?
Styles P.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Jada Kiss his
Jada
too.
Kiss for sure.
Because Jada,
No.
Everyone from the
Al-Qaeda,
Locks
Jada.
alone is better than Joe Budden. Everyone from the
No.
Locks.
Are you
alone.
out your fucking mind?
Ooh, Joe Budden is better than
Slow
Sheik
down.
Lush.
And-
Joe Budden is
No,
better
no,
than
no,
Sheik
no,
Lush.
No. Hold up. Because you. What are you talking about? Anybody in? First of all, there's
Slow
only
down.
Styles P that could probably keep up with Joe.
And
No,
Jadakiss
I
can?
would say Jada.
Jada-
could definitely-
Jada-
Definitely could.
Jada cannot keep up with Joe because you see the thing about Jada, like there's a way of putting good bars together, but then there's
But then
Joe
also
Budden
Jada
could, like,
becomes predictable with his schemes.
His schemes, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
does
a
become
one set
predictable.
of bars.
Even
Even
though-
though,
and that-
even though,
that's
even
exactly what I
though,
was gonna say.
even though it's nasty when he
Right.
says it, it's still
Yeah.
nasty.
Like-
but he does get I'm like, okay, yeah.
I still listen to some Joe Budden records that I've been listening to for years and catch clever shit. And
At
I'm
least
like,
say Beanie Siegel. Come on.
Beanie Siegel is
Like,
nice.
Jesus.
So even unfortunately, I feel like his career is like Vince Carter, but Lloyd Banks,
Oh, Banks, yeah,
early
yeah.
Banks.
Banks
like
is one
I'm
of
a
those
fan.
guys
I'm a
who-
fan of early Banks because I
But
didn't like
Because
anything.
of his early commercial success,
Yeah, I know. And he
everybody
was young,
overlooked his
and he was
actual
young.
ability.
But you see, Banks, Cassidy, Fab, they are punchline kings. Like I put them in different. They're like they come up with clever shit. But Joe Budden like could paint a fucking picture from beginning to end,
Okay.
and like he could put it all together, and it's theatrical. You know, like
okay, and
like-
in that ability, I could give.
like
I could,
there's
I
not
could
there's very
understand.
few. There's
That ability I
very
can
few.
understand.
Like you heard Kendrick on like Section 80. It was similar to that. You know what I mean? But Joe Budden goes in and he spit real shit. Like
He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
he spit real shit. Like
Incredible
you hear
storyteller.
some of his raps and like if you really follow his life, you could be like, oh, I know when he wrote this bar. Like
Yeah.
like
like,
the whole yeah
that type of
like
shit
in my
for me
like
is
in
nice.
my sleep I had that shit on, and the video like when he had that, and this is when he was like avant-gardist in the way, like just dropping his own content on his own platform. Joe Budden TV.
He was the first one to actually go independent.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
massively made independent
Yeah,
success.
no, like everything he did, especially like digitally, is like with Amalgam Digital was like one of the first real like quote unquote streaming or download.
And there was a one that he ran
there.
with. What was that? Mood Music came out on it.
Mood Music. There was Mood
They
Music.
all came out on that. It was Koch. Was it Koch?
Or was it E1?
E1. I think it was E1.
E1. Yeah, because I don't think it was Koch.
Yeah, it was
Koch.
E1. And like he ran like a whole series. Like bro, hands down.
Dude, it's all like Ordinary Love shit, like all this
Top
stuff.
five
I loved
greatest.
it. Yo, when you drop OLS1 and then that series, I was like, yo, Joe Budden is how I found out of Frank Ocean.
Oh,
Frank Ocean.
I was on Twitter and Joe Budden tweeted Frank Ocean Novocaine, like the YouTube link.
Yeah.
And I just listened to it. He's like, oh, I hear you, Frank. Then you just put a link.
Nostalgia Ultra is one of the
Yeah,
greatest
yo, bro.
mixtapes ever
It was
created.
I was like,
in
this is
the
Dawson
history
days.
of
I was on
music.
break. I was on Conrad's, and I'm just on my laptop.
Oh my God,
And then
so
like
good.
I'm like, yo, this track is amazing.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean. I'm like, then I
That's
started,
Frank is nice.
and then
Hands
Nostalgia
down.
Ultra. Yo, I listened to whole. I'm like, yo, this shit is
Incredible.
But then like Frank Ocean, like Malibu, I could not get into Channel Orange. I could not get into anything after after
Honestly,
that.
Channel Orange grew on me. It took me a while. Like there were the
Pyramids
like,
is my only
Fear-
shit on that one.
like of course. Like
Pyramids, when that
is,
shit
like,
came out,
just
that 9-minute
the
song, I had
fucking
that shit on
shit.
repeat for like an hour.
But
Like
that was an album that I felt like the first time I heard, I was just kind of like, it's all right, but it grew on me later on. The same way like fucking Blonde did. When I first heard Blonde,
I didn't.
I was not fucking with it. I was like,
besides
what the fuck?
what may have been played in radio, I did not hear anything about Blonde.
No,
I did
I
not
never
want
listened to that.
I was so turned off after Channel Orange.
Dude,
Nah.
Like
Blonde is one of those albums, man, that you have to be in a particular mood, and it's just gonna hit you.
I guess
It's just gonna hit
that
you.
mood is
guess.
not yet. Sorry.
Because after Nostalgia Ultra, what I did was I found he had like a back catalog of like 40 songs, like
Yeah,
Lonnie
he had
Bro
released like a
collection.
bunch of.
When he had a name of Lonnie Bro. When he was a lot of times he was because he was a songwriter before, he was ghostwriting. I guess so. I guess those are the demos,
Right.
and then a lot of them are with James Font Leroy production, and I was just like, yo, these songs are amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Like they never came out officially, but they're fucking amazing.
Frank Ocean's got some.
So his
some
pen
serious
game,
tracks
I'm
in the
never
type,
gonna.
man.
Oh no, he's definitely up there with his pen game.
His pen game is ridiculous.
All I'm saying is the best album in the last 3 years is Friday on Elm Street. The best album
In
in the last 10 years.
It's
when
a
it comes
great,
to pure,
it's a great album.
that
Jada
is-
and Fabulous is a great album, but I
Friday
wouldn't say
on
it's the
Elm.
best in the last 10 years.
Nah.
in rapping, it's pure rapping. That's the
Nah.
best.
I
Who's
really have
because
to
because it's pure rapping. That's the best.
Nah, bro.
But I wouldn't even say like on a
Because-
pure rapping side. Like I
Because they-
have to sit down and go through. But no, I wouldn't.
All
say
Love
that's the
Lost. That's probably one of the greatest albums ever. Well, the whole series.
best. Well,
is
he's saying in the
crazy.
last 10.
Well,
that came out what?
All Love
We're
Lost.
basically 2010 till now, basically.
But All Love Lost came out. That was his last album.
All of
His
Lost came out like
No,
in
his last one was Rage in the Machine.
No,
All
there
of
was-
Lost came out after that.
after
believe, and
that,
it's like 2014.
Raid in the Machine was with Arab music, and then he came out with the other one where
Sure?
OS4. Yeah, All Love Lost. That's what
It
he
was
came
like
out.
2014.
Yeah,
if
that
I'm
was the
correct.
last album. I could almost guarantee you it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check.
Because I remember
could have sworn Rage was the
I remember
last one.
seeing him tweet about
Because he went on
everything.
tour with for Rage. That was like what 2-3 years ago.
I don't know.
Those two albums came out in a
In like a 9-month span.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like
All right, not to deviate too much. Well, we're going to go to a different topic. I know you guys want to talk about the Jay-Z
Yeah, Rage
thing.
was the last one. Keep going.
The Jay-Z thing. Is that you guys want to talk about that?
let's do it.
Yeah, let's jump into
Jay-Z?
it.
If you guys are up for it.
You
Jamal
want
has-
to take the lead on this, Jamal?
Yeah, let
Nah,
Jamal start
bro.
this.
I'll let you guys
Take
lead.
the lead, Jamal.
No, I'm not gonna take the lead
For
on
once in your
nothing. Go ahead.
He
You
always
got
has to
the floor.
bring things to it, but never actually.
I didn't bring shit.
introduce
Jason
before.
presented it.
What do you mean I presented? Because I'm
It's your
presenting the
boy.
topic.
It's my boy.
It's Hove, the Jigga Man.
Right. I'm not Memphis Bleak, bro. I'm not in his will anywhere.
I would love to be in Jay-Z's world.
Yo, facts. That's
not even a
that's a
I
good
would
problem
love
to
be
have,
in
bro. You
Jay-Z's
put me in
world.
your
You
world,
fucking
and
kidding
it's
me?
like, all right, I may not ever have
I'm gonna be a millionaire. Yeah,
Even if I die, it's my will somewhere, so you
yeah.
could just kick back and chill somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't even have to.
So I'm
write
sure
rhymes.
by now most of you have heard how Jay-Z's got a deal going with the NFL.
Mhm.
And although not every single fine print detail of it has come out, everyone's had their speculations about it, put their 2 cents here and there. What we know so far, he's supposed to be doing a partnership with them performance-wise, where he's going to be helping them with like halftime shows for the Super Bowl and then other partnerships around
Music,
the different teams, music-wise, things
Injustice.
of that nature, plus taking the lead on the project that the NFL started for bringing more social awareness to different communities and through the NFL as a whole. So what do you guys think about this? Like, what are your initial thoughts when you heard it? Like,
I think it's a great thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't see. I see a lot of people going off, and I just don't get it. Because to me, it's like it's about progression. Like, okay, we get the point. These guys, you know, Kaepernick, Eric Reed, whatever how you pronounce his name. I'm not there in his mother's name. Get the fuck out of here.
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick. Okay, you're happy,
Well, Jamal, would you come if someone call you Jamali?
bro? I live in Quebec. They fuck my name up on the
I'm
daily.
not talking about Quebecers. I'm talking about other people, dog.
But anyways, I'm just saying, like, I think what Jay-Z's doing, I think most people don't understand. And I think if they're going to give him the opportunity to be involved and then use it, like, he's already big on the whole prison reform. Like, I don't think he's not going to encompass all what he's doing, especially for this type of position. I don't see the big harm in it. I don't think he betrayed the movement. I don't think he sold out. I mean, he sold out. If he sold out a long time ago, if that was the case, it's just not now. So I don't see the point. Like, people going at it, it's like a bunch of people like to criticize some shit, but they got no replacement solutions. So don't criticize if you have nothing to offer in replace of that.
Jason, what do you feel about it?
Me? Oh man, Jay-Z. You already know how I feel about Jay-Z as a person. Anyways.
How do you feel about this?
It's even
Keep
worse.
it on topic.
It's even worse because I understand what Jamal is talking about in the case of, he's doing good things, but what has Jay-Z ever done that's good that you see in the public? Jay-Z never initiates anything. He always jumps onto people's thing and co-ops it. So, for example, the movement thing with Kaepernick and Eric Reed, he was saying that, oh, we're way past kneeling now. We're not doing that. I'm like, who made you the leader of this? When did you come in? And him lying about talking to Kaepernick when that didn't happen.
He never said that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did say that. Him lying when the Barclays Center went up, saying that we're gonna have affordable housing to black people who were getting kicked out when the Barclays
Keep it on
Center-
this right now.
It has to do with this. It has to do with this. It's the same thing. He's the whole thing with the NFL is to show the optics of that. All right, we understand you. We're gonna do things to get through the NFL for social injustice. That's the disguise of what you see from Jay-Z. However, like Jay-Z, he's gonna tell you one thing: buy stock in something, sell his stock, and just forget about everything and just go his own way, make his money. That's what he always does.
Example,
He
please.
did it for Barney's.
I personally
he did it for
like.
Barney's when Barney's had the racist thing, kept his stocks in that. He did it for Barclays Center when he said to black people that, you're going to keep your house and you have social housing. Barclays Center is up. It's booming now, making a lot of money, and there's still no social housing after how many years, and now this NFL thing. So why should we give him the benefit of the doubt if twice before he's suckered people?
So wait, if I get what you're saying is that you feel all these moves is just like
For personal gain.
it's strictly personal gain. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Masking it to be like he's for the people.
That's right.
I can't agree with that because one thing that we do know, especially after like the last tax season came out, about the amount of people who were quote unquote social justice warriors who were arrested during peaceful protests, that he paid for numerous amount of people's bails, as well as establishing programs to help people who were incarcerated through nonviolent drug charges. He's helped get them out of prison as well. The whole Barkley situation, I'm not versed enough in it to make comment on that. So I don't know if what you're saying is true or not. I'll leave that alone. But based on what's happening with the NFL right now, the one thing I want to know that really hasn't come out are what are the fine details of all this.
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is this partnership going to entail? What are the things he's going to be incorporated? We know that one of the things is the fact that he is going to be taking the lead, not really taking over, but taking the lead in the awareness and social awareness part that the NFL essentially made a thing after players started kneeling. So what is that going to entail as well? Are you going to be working with those players at some point in time? Or is it just going to be you going out, creating programs and things of that nature to help essentially help out communities? You know, like I want to know what are the fine details that are coming out of this.
And my thing is that instead of going to the players, he went to the owners first.
But wait,
But you
why,
know what?
but why
Wait, but even with that, I'm not necessarily mad at him going straight to the people who are at the table, because at some point in time, you need somebody to sit at the table. You know, like a lot of people are mad at the fact that he said, you know, the time for kneeling is done and that now is the time for action. Maybe he could have picked better words, but I'm not mad at him saying now's the time for action, because at some point, yeah, you need to do something that's more than just bringing awareness. Once you've brought awareness to something, what is the next step? And if him being at the table and him being able to talk to these owners and talk to these people that are in a position of power to make something happen, I don't see that as a bad thing. But as I said, we still need to know the details of what those conversations and what those meetings will entail for the future.
I think the way I see it is number one, we're gonna check the box for personal gain. Yes, he's in it for his own skin, first of all. But this conversation come up where I was just at before, and I'm gonna say here what I said then is this is not off brand. This move is not off brand of Hope. It's not off brand of how he operates, and it's not off brand that we never know the full scope of things until things play out.
Yeah.
Like this is from, for example, he said, like if I'm going to use music as a reference, he said it himself in Moment of Clarity on the Black Album in 2003. How can I help the poor if I'm one of them? So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win. So next time you see the homie and his rims spin, just know my mind is working just like them. You know, that is like the prime example of that. What he's doing now is that prime example of like, yo, like you say, go to the players, but it's like, what is he going to do if he goes to the players? Like, what can the players do?
Well, like the Players Association that.
But what can they do? They can't really. There's only so much they can do.
Because my thing with especially with Jay-Z, like he said to people like Jermaine Dupri and all these other people, don't do any business with the NFL. Don't do any business with the NFL.
I'm gonna stop you. Did he say don't do business with them, or because I'm asking because obviously we don't know the conversation that took place.
He said don't work with them.
He himself did not want to work with. He himself rejected their offer. What was it, last year?
Yeah, him and his wife.
Him and his wife rejected the offer, and then he was encouraging other people to
Rihanna had rejected as well.
Yeah. But don't you think that ties in with what's happening now, where it's like, yo, he knew that because he knew that, okay, I'm going to be sitting down with them soon and something might come about that's going to put me in a position where now it's like I'm here. So now let's really talk, and I have my people now, because if all of them accept it, it's like if Jay-Z accepted to perform, it only like
there'll be no incentive for them to change.
It validates the power of the NFL already. It's like, oh, you guys are complaining, but the guy we and he accepted our performance money for chump change.
Nope.
But Jay-Z's like, no, wait. Yo, if you basically hire, it's a work for hire basically. If you did the halftime show, work for hire, and then when it's done, it's done. But it's like, no, I'm not gonna say yes, and I'm not gonna let you pull more people from the community for short term for just a bag. I'm gonna sit down with you guys, and we're gonna have this conversation. I'm giving you how I'm seeing it. It's like we're gonna have this conversation. Yes, on surface level, I handle entertainment. Yes, I'm gonna get a prettier penny in my pocket. That's no problem. I'm Hove. I make business moves, and this makes sense for me also. But these conversations need to take place now in the office, not just on the field. Kaepernick started it on the field, but now we can't just be. When I hear him say we're done kneeling, it's him saying like we can't be content with the fact that okay, now what happened on the field there was been a response to it. No, now the next move is, yo, listen, you're not just gonna take the people from the community because you got money now. Like I'm here with you guys, so let's talk. You want to come into the community? We got to talk about the shit happening in the community, because at a point you guys are eventually gonna need to save face in front of the community, because a big portion of NFL players are black. You know what happens when there's eventually, obviously they have the monopoly on football, but God forbid something happens and then there's a new league or something like that, and it's like, yo,
You never know, man.
But the thing about it though, like this is how
I see how that plays out. Mind you, I could be in 2 years. Let's say, like I said to the other guy, in 2 or 3 years, shout out DJ Bobby Payne because I told him this, and I'm gonna tell you guys this too. If in 2, 3 years or whatever time it plays out, we see him really, it goes to what you were saying, where it's really just personal gain. Then when his term is up, he just walks out and nothing has seemed to change. I'll buy all y'all a poutine.
You know, the thing is, I could agree with Jason if what he was saying is actually true. Like, where the Barclays is downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That was a very neglected area.
I've seen it.
You feel me? Like, it wasn't a glorious place. It was a very neglected area. A lot of people who sold their house for 2 and 3 times the market value. They paid them out. So it wasn't like a bunch of people got put out on the road and, you know, left for whatever. The Barclays, the president of the Barclays, rejuvenated that area of the city, created jobs.
Facts.
Let's not glide. Hold on, I let you speak.
Okay.
I didn't. This guy. No, but it's the truth. Like, he created jobs. He signed a deal with Spike. A lot of people don't talk about this. He signs a deal with Spike to produce documentaries
that's
the way it should be produced.
Yes.
Right?
Khalif
so you have
Browder
the
is a prime
Trayvon,
example.
you have the Khalif Browder, you have the Tamar Rice story they're working on. They're working on a bunch of other stories, and they're putting these content out all through him. He is on Tidal. Tidal is the highest paid streaming service for artists. So don't say here and say he's always in it for himself. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Denzel Washington are one of the top 3 in the top 5 bigger donors of celebrities. So when you make it seem like, oh, he's out there for himself, you have to really look and see how he strategized and put himself in that position. He's always been, whatever he invests himself in, he goes all the way in. Yes, obviously, don't work with the NFL is one thing. From his business move in the past, I can't say that he's not gonna. He didn't take that deal last year because he had no leverage. At this point, there's clearly leverage on his end, and he knows he's gonna be able to manipulate.
What's his leverage?
I don't know the dealings.
The revenue for NFL and profit for NFL has been going up. What is his leverage?
I know, and that's my next point.
What's his leverage?
It's been going up. So all you people who want to criticize him for taking the deal, all y'all never turn off your TV last season on Sundays.
I told you they wouldn't.
Y'all been watching it. So it's like, oh, Jay-Z's wrong for taking the deal, but you guys are not wrong for supporting it, buying jerseys, going to games. That's fair, right? You guys are supporting the movement. The NFL had bigger review. The Super Bowl has been at the highest it has ever been in a while. Last Super Bowl. So all you guys are talking about, Jay-Z should have never done this. Jay-Z should have never done that. Cut it out, bro.
I think what a lot of people may have issues with, and they probably have a hard time wording it. I think I would understand the being mad at Jay-Z just because of the fact that he doesn't seem as transparent, in a sense where he's not vocally saying, yo, I'm making a deal with NFL.
No.
This is what the deal entails. I will earn this amount of money. With this amount of money, I will do this. And like, he's not walking like a politician. I know, but that's what is unfair. Like, that's the
plight of celebrity.
Like, we want that. It's like, yo, you're like because then it's like, oh, but without us, you would have never been where you at. So you owe that to us. But it's like, to an extent, no.
But there's a lot of celebrities that join campaigns that don't divulge those information.
Of course not.
So then why do you think they would have that pressure?
Because people are nosy.
They shouldn't.
Plain and simple.
I agree. They shouldn't. Like, yo, if this deal took place, obviously there have been a lot of consultations beforehand. There have been a lot of discussions taken beforehand.
Absolutely.
There have been a lot of, like, this guy did not get to where he's at now by signing deals off a whim, off of emotion.
Yeah. Right.
Like, this is probably the most like you said, it's probably at this point now, it's probably the most logical move business wise. And also just social, in terms of the social game, the social sphere, and you said it's leverage. So you're like last year, if all those people performed that he encouraged not to perform, he would have lost a lot of because by now they probably have a clear idea of what's happening now. Some of the celebrities, I'm pretty sure Rihanna has an idea of what's happening.
Of course,
Rihanna has an idea of what's happening, and Rihanna may have a play. Rihanna may have a play for all we know.
A lot of people who are criticizing him don't see as far as from the tip of their nose.
And I'm not seeing football players quit. And I'm like, I'm seeing football players. They're like, oh, Jay-Z never been on the field, never took a knee. It's like, yo, like this is. It's not the same game.
It's not the same.
It's not this. You can't like. And
it's
this
like
is something that we
oh man, when Freddie Gibbs was saying "fuck Kaepernick," it's like, come on, man.
When we see each other outside, it's like, you know, you agree with me. It's like a lot of people think certain people at different levels, like not everybody plays the same game that you play,
right?
And the general public, especially those people that are mad at Jay-Z, like Jay-Z's not playing this. It's not the same rules. So you guys are trying to judge him off your rules when he's 3-4 times above that. Like he's in a different and the game he's in now, business-wise, is probably new to an extent.
Oh, for sure.
He's sitting down with
$1 billion boy
now
club.
He's sitting with the movers and shakers of the country.
Yeah,
like literally, like the billionaires who own NFL teams. They have plays in the politics. They have plays in businesses.
Honestly, them owning NFL teams is
it's
the least lucrative thing that they actually have.
Bro, it's their toy.
Bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's their little
like
the Ferrari
they own them just to have bragging rights.
That's
when they
exactly
meet up in their
like,
golf clubs and everything.
The Cleveland Browns been shit till now. We'll see what happens, but the Cleveland Browns been one of the worst teams ever.
I don't think you should talk bad about the Cleveland Browns. Our producer is a big fan.
Okay.
Hey, they're on the up. We could talk about the bad days.
All I'm saying is that in general, I'm using an example. Is it the teams that are the teams that are not the top teams that are not doing well? They're losing money. Like they probably operate at a loss at a point, but the billionaires don't care because they have plays in other sectors. So Jay-Z's sitting with them.
But I mean,
and it's like every few years he reaches uncharted territory from where he's from. So. And like he's kind of bringing us there because of the fact that he's making those headlines. If Jay-Z never took that deal, we would have never.
But Hov is not known for taking random deals.
No.
Everything has always been strategic.
Yeah.
Secondly, like the NFL had, like, to me, them going at him and making this deal showed respect to his influential level that he had. Like he literally fucked their halftime show last Super Bowl. Like he literally.
I'm convinced that was a play for what's happening now. I'm
guaranteed. I'm sure Tidal is a part of it. He has all sorts of shit plugged in.
Like we should have known from the time he was telling people not to perform that something was in the works.
Oh, for sure.
When did Beyonce perform? 2 years back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and even
2017.
And that was that the last
or 16.
Was that the last greatest halftime show since?
Well, yeah.
Basically. I mean,
that might probably be the best halftime show for at least another while.
Dude, it's Beyonce.
Yeah, it's Beyonce.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So that probably too is a play because Beyonce owns all the rights to that halftime show.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like this is probably what's happening now. It's probably been at least considered,
right,
18 months ago.
And I think like it, it's one thing to say like, oh, he shouldn't have not take the deal. At least we're at the table, bro. Like
that's
like I mean every and I've talked to you, Matt, about it. I've talked to Jason about it. I think I've even spoken to you about it. Like we as a movement, as Black people, we have the same recipe. Something happened. We protest. We get mad. We burn our villages down, and then we go back home to sleep. And then we
still gotta work.
It's all cycle, right?
Because we're broke. So, we gotta work.
I'm not against. I think what he said is really true. Okay, the kneeling part's over. We get the picture. Now let's move on to other things that's gonna make those kneeling worthwhile.
Before we go back to the same cycle again.
Yeah.
Because that might have most likely happened if this.
Of course. And I mean, like Eric Reed, bro. Like you're still getting paid from the Carolina Panthers. Like fuck out of here.
Apparently he's getting paid from that, and he still has his he's still getting his contract money.
Bro, he's
that's what he got from the settlement.
Yeah,
he's getting money
because there was an amount of time when he wasn't in. Like he essentially, I don't know if he got cut or if his contract ended or whatever. But he got that money back.
But he still has his contract guaranteed money.
Right.
So it's like,
and like I mean, no one's going at Kaepernick for taking that settlement deal. Like if you really wanted to show bias,
I want to know the details.
Fuck the details. If he really wanted to expose the NFL for being biased, prejudiced, and all of that, don't take the settlement and let their shit get exposed. If that's what you're really about, do it. Like, there's no point of him taking the deal and then feel slighted because Jay-Z now signed the deal. Like, I don't get that. Like, to me, it's like, you settled. Like, to me, your gripe, and they both said it, their gripe was never with the NFL.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why it's now a big deal because Jay-Z signed with the NFL if their initial shit was not with the NFL. So where is this?
Because they use the NFL as the channel.
The gripe with Jay-Z, because it seems that he co-opted, because you just said right now he settled. So, and for Jay-Z to say, "Oh, we're done kneeling" and stuff was like,
Hell yeah, we done
No
kneeling.
one was, but no one was talking to Jay-Z about kneeling and stuff like that.
Yes,
And
they
he's-
did.
He's taking it as his own, as if we're done kneeling. When he
People
never-
said.
when he never did anything. That's the point.
What do you mean he never? What do you mean he
The
never
whole
done anything?
The whole Kaepernick thing and why people are mad with, a lot of people are mad is because he says, "Oh, we're done kneeling." Dude,
We
he-
are done
that's
kneeling.
the truth.
But
That's a
he-
good thing.
he
That's
himself-
progression.
He himself was not kneeling at all. He
Where
wasn't
would he be
doing anything.
kneeling?
Who,
That's the
Jay-Z?
point.
In his
Jay-Z, yes.
office?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the same game. Like, why are we waiting for Jay-Z to kneel?
And Jay-Z's a rapper. That's
should-
metaphoric. Like we're not bending to no rules now. We're standing up. That's probably what like. Look at the bigger picture. You guys are taking shit from a simple perspective, and then
That's exactly
kneeling.
like,
He's not an athlete.
I don't need him to kneel to believe
like,
that what he's trying to do is actually good.
Okay. I think I get. Like, I think maybe his point, or like, I think from what you're saying, you would have a good amount of people that, let's say, out of 100 people, 60 are mad at Jay-Z. Out of 60, maybe 40 wouldn't be mad anymore if they saw Jay-Z on the sideline while Kaepernick was kneeling.
No, what
they
I
would have
was-
been like, oh my God, he's with us and everything. So we want him to come back down to our level.
Right.
But it's like, no, like, he's not effective. He's not effective. At
But
that
all these
level.
people, Stephen A. Smith never kneeled. They never seen him kneel. But he has something to make, some comment to make.
No, he actually backed up what Jay-Z was doing. That's
Oh,
the
well,
thing.
he's a smart guy.
He backed up
Straight
what
out of
Jay-Z
New
was
York.
doing.
Look,
But
Jay-Z's
it's like-
done more than enough, more than we are even aware of
Oh, for sure.
for the community,
But you
for
see,
the
that's the
same
problem.
communities
That's
that
the
are
problem.
But why
ridiculing
is
him
that a
right
problem?
now.
You just said he did more that we're not aware of.
But why does he have
but
to
why-
advertise
Look,
it?
what
it's the
saying.
exact same thing when we were having that conversation about Oprah and
You-
everybody
you-
else,
you-
where I feel like you don't have to
But
make
listen, you
announcements
just
of every
asked
little
me-
thing you do.
You just told me that, I don't know what the whole thing with Barkley is. I can tell you, me and if Jamali remembers, we were directly involved in what happened and we were getting answers back on what was going on in Barkley. We worked for a call center that did, before Barclays was built, to get everyone's opinion on how the Barclays were getting built. No one liked it. Everyone said
Okay,
this
no,
was happening.
and
But
like
that makes sense.
Jamali just said, with everything that happened as a result of the Barclays going up,
Yes,
it
people
seems
got
like
jobs,
it
but
was a
who got-
great idea.
Yeah, but the people who lost their houses never went back.
But
into
they didn't
houses.
lose their houses. No, their houses
Not
weren't
everyone- not
taken
everyone
from them.
got- not everyone
They
got
were
paid out.
paid.
But yes,
They were paid. What you think?
not everyone were
You
paid out,
think,
Jamal.
literally speaking, Jason?
No,
that
not everyone were paid out.
first of all, they weren't even brownstones. So let's make sure we put that out there.
Dude, it doesn't matter what the house is. The thing is,
They got 3 times the value of their property.
listen, they said they were going to put in affordable
half of those buildings down there were going to be condemned within 5 years. If
Okay, it's fine if you just
how
demolish
the fuck
buildings.
you mean it's fine?
But if you say you're going to put affordable housing in a place where you took down people's housing, now they can't get back housing in places where
No,
they
but
want to
if they were
live.
paid
Sure, they
3
were
times
paid.
the amount, right? And then now they got money to go.
What's
in,
3 times? How much were the houses worth?
I don't know. Let's say the
There you
houses
go.
were worth 100,000. You get paid back 300,000.
There's no houses. You
can't
can't
get
even
that.
find a box in
You
New
can't
York
get
for
that in New York.
100,000.
I know. I'm using an example. But
Right.
Like,
so they got paid. Point blank. Period. They took the money. They signed on the paper. No one was
and
coerced.
obviously, of course, most people will not be for the building being built, because then they have to. It's the inconvenience of them knowing shit. I've been here
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
These are
find your
older
path.
people, by
And-
the way. Let's put this into
And
perspective.
that's important to know. Like, it's not like,
The
if it
value-
was us, like, if you're living in a rundown apartment building, be like, yo, we're gonna build something here, but we're gonna pay you like whatever. It's like, yo, I'm taking it. Why not? Like, you don't have any attachments to the. But if you're talking to older people,
Yeah, but you're paying people the amount of a house that if they you give them the money, where else? Where you're gonna put them in an apartment?
Okay,
You're gonna put
so-
them
no, but they
somewhere
got the
else?
money.
They go. Okay,
That's how America runs.
okay, they can get the money, but if you're getting paid, you can get whatever money. But if you can't afford whatever money you're giving you to pay, it doesn't make
What do you
any
mean?
sense. You're getting paid a certain amount of money, but is that money enough for you to go buy another place?
Well,
that for-
Well, I mean,
if they're getting 3 times the value, normally they
You-
should be
but-
enough to
but-
find a place where.
but this is where you put things into perspective, Jason. If they don't, if that money was not good enough for them to get where they were going, then the Barclays should have never been built. Those houses would have been condemned. They would have never gotten any money because the city would have condemned the building.
the value
They
would
would
have
have been
plummeted.
put out. They would have just been paid out by the city, whatever the city felt was needed.
Then it would have created
Those would have
condos.
been broken down, and some guy would have gentrified the whole neighborhood. There will be no jobs. There'll be no nothing. So what are we talking about?
Well, if you say to these people, we're gonna demolish your house, and you're gonna have first dibs at affordable housing when we have everything built up, and there's still no affordable housing after 10 years.
Which is why maybe which is in the reason they got paid 2 to 3 times the amount. Like,
But
it's a how do you call it?
It's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off. Like, okay, let's say they did find okay. So you would rather have them have found affordable housing rather than get 2-3 times the amount that
No. But this is the part that doesn't make sense. They're gonna give them out that valuation, or pay them out whatever, a multiple of whatever it's worth, then still allocate housing for them. That makes zero sense.
That makes no sense.
But the housing, whatever they have now at Barclays is, you saying 3 times the amount? It's almost 40 times the amount of what it is right now.
But it's making the economy run in that area.
People need jobs, bro.
Like at least if it's one thing I know about, especially here in North America, like anything that can help stimulate economy without the government's, or with the least amount of input from the government, they will reward you for it.
Barclays is tax free. Just like Madison Square Garden, it's tax free.
Well, does it stimulate?
It generates revenue.
Does it generate and stimulate economy, at least locally?
110%.
So it'll make the government is going to reward that,
of course,
because it's less expenses for the government.
But you're kicking out everyone who
No,
lives
you're
there
not.
locally.
You're not kicking them out. You'll be like, yo, listen, we're like, your place is not going to be there anymore for this place of business. So here is money.
But even though the point in case is they're going to get kicked out regardless, because if they weren't able to keep up with the upkeep of their building and all that extra shit, it was going to be condemned. So what are we arguing? What is there to argue about? Their building was going to get shut down.
All right, leave them on the street then. That's what it is. If they
but they're going to be on the street anyway.
Take your money and put on the street.
I'd rather be put on the street with $3 million, okay, or like whatever, $1 million.
Enough money that they were going to be able to relocate. Like they weren't like just giving $5 in here.
Because then if I'm smart, I'm getting 3 times the value of my house. I'm going into an apartment that was cheaper than where I lived. I'm going to save the extra.
There's no such thing in New York.
The cheaper than where I lived.
There is like
move to Jersey. Fuck, I don't know.
That's an inconvenience.
Go to fucking Virginia, bro. Like I'm just saying. The case
it's
in
the
point
inconvenience of movement that people don't want. That I get.
The case in point is there is more positive that came out of the Barclays than negative. And yes, he did shoulder the whole deal. Like he was the owner. We knew he only owned like what 3%,
1%,
1.5%, something like that. And at the end of the day, he brought back life to that city. Whether you want to give him credit or not, like there's concerts at the Barclays, there is basketball games. I think hockey's supposed to be there at some point if they're not already there.
I think
the Islanders are supposed to go over there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're already playing there.
Yeah, so it's like that's value. People's life have been impacted by that.
The general quality of life has gone up. At least
hell yeah!
Down, so.
That area of New York is so. Brooklyn itself is beautiful now, bro.
Without government, I'm telling you, the government does not want to do shit. The more things people can do without governments, like spending money for it, they will reward you. Like,
and think about the excitement. Now they got KD, they got Kyrie. I mean, shit's looking up and up.
See, I want to segue into basketball now since you mentioned.
Oh, bro.
We could jump in on that, man.
I mean, it is what it is.
Your boy, man.
My boy. Why is everybody my boy?
Made out of glass.
Who? Carmelo's never been my boy.
I wasn't talking about Carmelo.
Who's boy?
DeMarcus.
That's not my guy.
Marcus, that's not your homie?
No, I'm sad, yo. Honestly,
I am sad, man.
I'm sad, to be honest, because it's like, yo.
Because I feel like this was, and it was something I was saying last year where he was trying to come back
but
after getting that injury. I was like, he's coming back too fast soon. And he's just going to re-injure it or something worse. And that's all that happened.
But at that point, like, yo, what were the Warriors supposed to do?
No, I just felt like I think the smartest thing he should have done was, even though he got that contract for the 1 year, just take your time. Don't try to rush back. And I know, like, for him, it's like, dude, when you love a sport the way that these guys love it.
Tell yourself, like, this is crazy. And this is, I think, similar to Melo. It's like, when you got guys who spent their whole lives on the
that's it. Like, they only know one thing. Like, DeMarcus only knows one thing. He only knows one sport. So, of course, he wants to be playing.
And you were always the focal point in wherever you went. So now it's like, he went from, when he got injured, he was on the road to getting a Supermax?
He was like 2 days away from getting
no, 2 years from a max deal.
But no, it was less than that. Like, the injury that he got, that's like at the end of the season, he was going to be eligible to get a max.
It was a max. It was a max deal.
Yeah, I'm talking about max. So he was, that season he got injured.
Yeah. He was going to get a max.
He was going to get the max.
Yeah.
Down to a minimum, bro.
$5 million, I think he got for that season.
That is ridiculous. And I hope his finances are in order.
I think they were saying in total he would have got $210 million.
This was going to be his second time getting paid though. He got paid.
Which fucking sucks, man.
He got paid
and then now, Like,
Hey, yeah, at
did you
least-
see the video? He was in practice and it just felt like I'm like, yo, this guy. I said this guy needs to retire.
I don't think he needs to retire, but
He needs to get in
literally
shape.
just no. It's not even. He's in shape. The problem
His
is
body's weak,
especially when you had an injury like the Achilles and then coming back from it. I think it was the quad that hit
The quad
afterwards.
that snapped.
And
yeah.
I think they were saying that it was on the opposite leg. So essentially, what happened was because
the leg
you're
compensated
injured,
so much. Yeah.
because the injury's on one leg, you try to use it a bit less because you don't trust it,
Right.
and you just end up wearing and
Overworking
tearing
out the other one.
other leg. So that fucked it up. So it's really messed up to see something like that happen because now it's more a matter of you really need to just let your body rest.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for him, you know, going to the Lakers, he thought, you know what, I'm going to have this offseason to just relax, take it easy. You don't think in like a regular scrimmage, you're just going to have that issue happen.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing for him for this to happen. At least he still has another 4 or 5 years to play. If he was to really sit out this 1 year,
Yeah, he needs
and
to
get like
If
really.
he sits out this one, at least like what 12 to 18 months, man. Like,
Well, I mean,
or
think
even
about
come
it.
back in the middle of next season.
Nah,
like,
not
no,
even.
not even, like-
Not even.
and that's the thing, like him trying to come back last season after the injury, you saw it. And even when you watched him play,
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't
saw he
100.
You saw, like, he
100%.
was not getting up. Like
first off, his
even
conditioning
every
was
every
so bad.
bucket I feel like I
Yeah.
felt the pain, especially in the final series. Like every bucket,
Every
You saw
move
that
was
first
gingerly.
game where like he came in and he was really rocking it. You were like, "Yo, that's good." But then you just noticed, especially the fact that they overplayed him in that game. Anyways, they tried
way
to run
too
him
much.
regular minutes, and it's like I looked at it as he should have played nothing more than 15 minutes in that game because you saw in the next game conditioning was just horrible. Like he didn't have
He
it in him
couldn't keep
because
up.
his
Yeah.
body wasn't used to going to that level of exertion. So the best thing he could do is just sit, let the body heal.
But that's,
Then start getting your strength back. Start doing your conditioning. Just
So
take your time
LeBron
to
would send
build
him
up.
to his doctors, you know, let him get some of that
he better
preferential
have
treatment.
LeBron Dr. Bread, bro, because LeBron
Nah, LeBron could afford to, give him a free break.
I
Look,
guess.
if he's smart,
for one.
I'm like, you ain't hear this from me, right? You know, you tell the Lakers, you know what? Just cut me. Give me like 20%. And then once he's no longer on the roster, take some PEDs, just let those hormones help the muscles heal properly.
I'm sure they're
Sit up
using
here.
that.
Hey,
I'm sure
if he's
they're
on a
using
roster,
that.
he can still get drug tested. But if he's not on a roster, they can't drug test.
For real?
You
That's
can't.
for real.
You could drug test.
He has to have a physical before he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
before
well,
he
of
comes
course.
back.
Yeah.
But if he's not on a roster, they can't test him because he's
But-
technically not an employee.
Yeah, but if he gets a physical when he comes back,
It's kind of like the same thing
bro,
that
you
they
just
do
gotta give it what couple
with
weeks.
the NFL.
No,
when
but-
when you're in the off season, they won't test you during the off season. But the second you come back
Yeah.
to like OTAs, you're eligible for tests, which is
tested.
why a lot of times these players will like hold out from
Yeah.
OTAs. It's because they're waiting for the drugs to get out their system before
yeah.
they go back in. Edelman got caught because he came back a bit too
Too
soon.
early, yeah, bro.
Oh my God.
He miscalculated that
Yeah.
shit.
But yo, you see like these injuries, and especially the types of injuries, like it's really, I think it's a testament to like how like I don't know if it's NBA, but it's like just the wear and tear on your body trying to go pro.
Oh, it's
Like-
all the major ones in general, man.
like going like the work you put in high school, in college.
Yeah.
You're training yourself, and then you get pro, and like your body's like
I don't think people understand like
your body's
the
tired.
jump
bro.
from college to pro is crazy.
Well, even high
crazy.
school to college in
Even high school
itself.
is
'Cause-
well
high school to
depending-
college
I
is
think
more
it
manageable. though.
depends. Depending
It's-
on where in
But
high
as
school.
far as like the way they make you train your
Well,
body,
I think
for
like
the
if you're coming
level
from
of
a regular high
competition-
school, fine. But if you're coming from like Bethel, Oak Hill, all these
yeah.
these type of academies.
But
that
you
out
even
there.
see like the difference in their physicality when they come from high school because you're still at that very peak point of growth where your body is changing immensely. Plus, you're hitting weights. Plus, you're hopefully taking care of
The
your
Yeah, but you
nutrition,
play
things
how
of that
many
nature.
games in college, bro?
The problem.
Well, it depends because
You're
when
playing
you're
one
when
or
you're in
two
the
games
when you're in the
a
actual
week.
season, yeah, you're playing 1 or 2 a week at most, 2 a
training
week.
every day,
But
you
yeah,
got-
you were literally training every day, doing 2
you're
a
in the
days.
gym.
Right.
It's
Right.
It's very
Compare-
similar to
But high school, you play 1 or 2 games. You're probably not trained. You're probably training every day, but not to the intensity.
not to the
Once you
extent-
get to
that's
the
it.
league, you're playing
Yeah.
82 games,
And that's what I mean.
and
It's
you're
like
running
the
probably
leaps in
sometimes 2 a
between.
days.
It's like you got to think like you go
You know what I mean?
from high school that leap into college where now you're pushing yourself to be pro ready. And then when you get into the pros, now you're pushing yourself again because you might have been big in college, but you come in, like, look at someone like Giannis. When he came in, he looked like a stick figure, but when he was playing in fucking Greece, he didn't look that small.
No.
You know
I mean,
what
Anthony Davis was one of them.
Exactly.
The
He's
Morris
another one.
twins were one of them.
You know, like you look at some of these guys.
The Morris twins were crazy when they played for
And
Kansas.
that's the thing. You look at some of these guys and the leap their body takes when they get year 2, year 3.
And I mean, conditioning is necessary.
Insane.
Like a lot of I remember watching a video with the Toronto Raptors, and I forgot who it was. I think it was Doug Christie was saying, like, when Marcus Camby got drafted with them, like, he used to have like a Snicker before the game, and he'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, where's the meal?" He's like, "Bro, I'm good. Just a Snicker, bro. I used to do this in college."
College is,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're gonna get eaten alive up there, bro.
Well, we saw it happen at Camby.
Yeah.
Not only did they kidnap his family, but he wasn't a factor after a while.
Yo, why you?
Oh yeah, they kidnapped Mark.
He's such an asshole to bring that up. Dog.
That was funny when the kid. Not funny, but it was a funny situation.
Nothing funny about that.
but like that's
No, it was funny because Marcus Camby was a bitch.
What can we do to you?
God, this guy. Oh man, don't let me talk
How you
about
feel
the
about
next.
Camby?
Come on, let it off your chest.
how you feel about Camby is how I feel about Bargnani, man.
Nah, bro.
It's-
Camby's a
Marcus
bitch.
Camby is to you what Dwight Howard is to me?
No, bro. Never. Marcus Camby's a bitch. Like,
Sounds like
no, bro. Dwight Howard at least has manly qualities. Marcus Camby's a bitch. Straight up. Like, this guy has. He's like the watered down version of Kwame Brown.
Stop it.
Yes.
Yo, what's wrong with you, dog?
Stop it.
Bro, I
What's
have zero
wrong with
Camby
respect.
had a way better career than Brown.
Where and when?
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Marcus Camby
He had
Camby
a
had
way
no-
better career than
What
Brown.
do you remember Marcus Camby for? Other than his family getting kidnapped.
For being a very stalwart center, just going out there getting those rebounds.
Get the fuck
Yo,
out of
bro.
here.
I
Get
can't-
those
Marcus
rebounds, get those
Camby got
blocks.
dunked on by
I can't-
Iverson.
You know how many people got dunked on, bro?
By
That means
Iverson?
nothing,
Not
fuck.
a lot. Not a lot.
Dude, you know how many people have gotten dunked on? Who gives a fuck?
But not by Iverson.
Who cares?
Marcus Camby,
So what if he got dunked on by Iverson? What
It
did
was-
he do to you is what I want to know.
he's trash, bro.
Oh,
He was overrated.
Kwame Brown was better than Marcus Camby.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I remember
And
Kwame.
Kwame Brown was a scrub.
What? What
Eddie
did I just
Curry
hear?
was better than fucking Marcus
Kwame
Camby.
Brown was better than Marcus Camby?
Yeah,
Fam, that can't
at
run,
least
fam.
Kwame Brown's hand was
That
the
can't
size of
run,
a
fam.
regular person.
What are you talking about?
That's
Kwame
why
Brown-
he couldn't catch
That
the
can't
ball.
run, fam.
Kwame Brown could not catch anything.
Because he had
two-
regular size
he had two-
hands.
No, he had small
Okay?
hands. He had
Mark-
two
when he
left
caught, but when he
feet.
caught the ball,
Marcus Camby, I don't remember him doing anything spectacular at his height.
Do you know they went to
Why does he have to be spectacular?
Because
Why can't he just be an average
Ooh, Jamali.
NBA
Okay.
center?
Jamali?
what,
Jamali.
Why can't he just be an average NBA center?
bro?
Jamali.
Which being an average NBA
This
center
is-
still makes you better.
What's that
than
white boy
90%
that
of
played
people
with
who
the
play basketball.
Mavericks? What was his name? The one who Stephon Marbury crossed up. What was his name? Oh my God! He tried to take a charge from Iverson. That guy. What's his name?
I have no
Bradley, I think his name.
Yes, Bradley. Yes.
Bradley, Sean Bradley.
Sean
Sean
Bradley.
Yo,
Bradley.
yeah, that's Marcus Camby. Trash.
Listen.
Trash.
The Lakers went to 6 straight plays for Kwame Brown. The first time Phil Jackson ever did that. He airballed 3 balls. He lost 2 off his foot.
Yo, listen.
And I think
That's how you know
the
he's
other one
better
was a
because he got
turnover.
6 chances, bro.
You know
It
what I
wasn't
mean?
6. No, it was just to prove that he could do
Terrible.
something. And when
Shit. Did you watch the video of Stephen A. going in on Kwame Brown?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
Stephen
seen
A.
that.
needs
Kwame
to
Brown's
stop
terrible.
it.
Gosh.
Stephen A. needs to stop.
Kwame Brown is terrible.
Bro,
Terrible.
Marcus Camby was fucking terrible.
Not as bad as Kwame Brown.
Bro,
Let's keep
he
it a buck.
was terrible.
Let's keep it a fucking
Yo,
buck.
he lucky
You
Twitter
know who
was.
was actually my favorite Laker?
Who?
I'm thinking about it now. Just because that one moment is Robert Horry.
Oh, for sure. He's everybody's favorite player. He's my
That one-
favorite
Big
Laker
shot
player.
over,
That
baby.
big, I remember watching that shit
Mr.
live.
7 Rings
I
himself.
remember watching that shit live, bro. I was it was Shaq who tapped it away from Divac,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, was
I
it
think
Divac?
or Divac tapped it away. It was a
tap in. He just grabbed it and put it up.
it was a tap. It was tapped back
Either
to
way, Robert Horry, one
Yeah.
of the greatest basketball players ever lived.
He is, hands down.
Yes,
7
what,
rings.
7 rings. Bro.
7
7
rings.
rings. With 3 different teams.
Better than Jordan.
You're damn right. Better than Kobe Bryant.
Damn right. Better than LeBron.
He's not. Well, yeah, he is. Fuck you.
Robert Horry, baby.
Nah,
Hey,
bro.
how many rings LeBron got?
3.
He's got
He'll
more
get-
rings than Tom Brady.
He'll get one before his time is up.
Oh, for sure. He's going to have at least another 2.
who?
LeBron James.
Let's hope.
We're talking about,
He'll-
but yeah, LeBron's good, but we're talking about the greatest basketball player to ever play,
Kobe?
Robert Ory,
Robert Ory.
I heard Kobe.
Mr. Seven Rings.
I heard Kobe.
He gave Kobe his third ring.
Scalabrini, bro. White Mamba.
Hey,
Go sleep.
the Future make a song about Kobe? I know Chief Keef did.
Future. I'm sure Future made a song about Russell Wilson. That doesn't mean shit to me.
No,
We don't know what
I
happened
said
to
Robert Ory.
Huh?
Left and right hand, Robert Ory.
So
You guys are terrible. Nah, but with this Carmelo situation, since we're on that basketball topic,
No, he does not deserve a farewell tour.
you don't think a
No.
team cannot do well with him on their roster?
If he wants to come off the bench, yes.
I know the perfect farewell tour for Carmelo.
If he's willing to come off the
What?
bench and be a team player, yes.
What?
I know the farewell tour. It's the media tour, the farewell media tour. Go on ESPN, FS1, and say I'm retiring from basketball, and that'll be his farewell tour right there.
Look,
It's
the
over.
only place I'll say he probably deserved a spot was the USA team.
No.
As I said, it's
Because
three-time-
all
what,
of his
three-time-
accolades came from that USA team.
Yo, when
Lucky for him.
what's his face? Coach for the Spurs don't want you. You know it's over.
That was fucked up though.
You know it's over.
I seen that they
Colangelo?
Colangelo?
Not Colangelo.
Well, look, he.
or
I
was
think
it,
no, it's
wasn't
Popovich.
Popovich, yeah,
Yeah,
Popovich.
Popovich.
It was Pop.
But like, I think Popovich is looking at it right now. He has all these young guys there. There's absolutely no pressure since all the top players didn't want to come to the team. So he's looking at like, win or lose, let's just have fun.
I mean,
Still would have liked to see Melo on that team. Still,
it doesn't matter.
I would like to see at least
I'm not a big
for
Melo
his-
fan.
for his
He could still
history.
play.
I'm
You know,
not.
China.
I'm
Look,
not the biggest.
He
Melo
did it
fan,
to
but it's
himself,
like-
man.
No, he didn't.
I know. He
He
to an extent
did
he
it
did.
to
What did he do to
himself.
him? Do
Attitude.
what?
Okay.
What attitude?
Carmelo said he was immature. He said himself that he
Okay,
was
but
Yeah.
a lot of basketball
He's
players
not,
are immature.
He's not a team player.
Kobe Bryant was a very
He's
immature
all
player.
about his
Kobe has five
own
rings.
numbers, his own stats.
quickly.
When?
Kobe. Early.
Kobe
After
literally
he mat-
literally dismantled the Lakers. What the fuck you guys are talking
Kobe
about?
matured. Kobe
Look,
Kobe
he was
got
allowed
matured
to
after,
do that because he gave him 5 rings.
No, that was before.
I can go to
before
ba-
the
okay,
third.
after the third one,
Yeah.
He gave him 3. Look, I'll even give that. I'll give that to Kobe.
Okay, but
I will give
I
that
don't-
to
I don't
Kobe.
think- I don't
if I
think-
put 3 banners up, fuck off.
I'm just saying, like, I think I don't like what they're doing. Like, it reminds me of like the whole Iverson thing, and like whether or not he won championships, I think his impact on the game of basketball, the impact on the younger generation. I think we need to put some sort of
recognition to that.
recognition to it.
Yes.
Look,
But
if you put
it's-
some banners up, you get a lot of clout and you get a lot of
like
push.
the thing is that like I don't equate Melo's,
I don't make the rules, man.
I don't equate Melo's impact the same way. Melo's impact on the game is not as heavy as Iverson's
Iverson, no,
impact on
not
the game.
even.
Well,
Because
no.
Iverson is the father of today's point guard, bro. Like
Look, Iverson
Like,
is
the comeback
Philly.
line-
Iverson
yeah.
was doing what he was doing with the old rules.
Iverson is like 90s, early 2000s.
He was doing
Philly.
what
Like,
he was-
that is
He was
when
doing,
you think of that era of the 76ers, that is Iverson.
he was doing what he was doing, like with the hand, like
The whole point is, I think, like what people are really going at him for is him getting paid twice from New York, him requesting a trade from Denver, and
I'm convinced behind the scenes he pissed the wrong person off.
but a
And
lot
that-
of these guys get pissed off when like these players exercise their right.
It
A lot
was-
of people get pissed off.
Yeah, but none of them they get pissed off. Pissed off is one thing, but I think Melo just pissed the wrong one off. Maybe it was Adam Silver himself.
It was
I don't know.
Dolan,
But
probably.
Fuck Dolan. and
Maybe-
his-
Probably Dolan.
I don't know. I think and the way he pissed him off was like irreparable.
But, like,
I'm
I mean-
convinced because this shit like Melo's completely healthy. You can't just like
you can't just
like from it's a black and white blackballing. It wasn't like you know.
I don't think it was a black. I just think
I'm
teams
just-
don't trust the attitude that he's going to bring to them is going to be
but
healthy.
they've trusted lesser guys with like would you I don't know would you rather take a player who's still you know first ballot Hall of Famer, we're gonna know he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Are we saying Carmelo's the first ballot Hall of Famer?
Carmelo's gonna be a Hall
Yeah,
of Famer.
he is.
First
sure.
ballot?
For
yeah,
sure.
guaranteed.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm
Olympic, he's
saying
the
I
most-
think he's a Hall of Famer.
He's the most
gonna
winning
be-
Olympic
He's
athlete
gonna be that
in
alone
basketball.
brings him to that
yeah,
alone
we're talking
gives
about
him-
NBA Hall of Fame. I don't think he's first
He's
ballot.
gonna make it.
he's gonna be first ballot.
He's gonna be
Remember
first
who
ballot.
who votes on it? It's the media.
He's still gonna
They
make it.
hate him. I don't think he's first ballot.
He's first ballot.
And I'm not saying like matter of like what I would pick. I'm just knowing how they are.
No,
He's
I
gonna
can
be-
see your perspective on that.
Knowing how they are, I would not put money on him being first ballot.
I think he will be.
Wasn't Iverson a first ballot?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
was.
like him at all.
Yeah, he was.
No, they
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
him at all.
I didn't like that guy.
They did not like Iverson.
Even
Wasn't
though-
there a documentary about refs like actually admitting they were fucking up the game, like they were making calls on purpose?
Oh yeah,
against Iverson.
oh for sure.
It was,
But I was just during the whole that ref who got caught gambling. What's his name?
Donahue.
Donahue.
All right, let's wrap up. Let's wrap.
Oh,
Matt,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up, man.
You can't wrap up? You need
No,
me to
can't.
do it?
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. You've been away for 2 weeks, so
yeah, you
Right?
were
I went
sleeping
to
while we were out
Oceaga, which
working.
was so fucking.
No one
dope.
asked you about that.
Don't care.
Wrap it
How
up.
does that work? Oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah,
Wrap it up.
Oceaga was sick.
Who asked
And
you about
last-
this shit?
Last week I just had to take a nap. You know, I was still tired from it all.
yeah, no one knows about those hippies, man.
Yeah, no one cares about those hippie conferences, bro.
Hey, the amount of people that were there,
Don't
you
matter
guys
to
are in
me.
the minority.
I
There's
don't
still
mind
more
them.
people in Montreal than that was on a little tiny
and
island.
we still had all the fun in the fucking world.
That's
Alright.
good. I'm happy you're having fun.
was
Wrap
so
it up,
good.
bro. Let's go.
I saw Tame Impala. They had like a laser show. It
I don't know
was
who the
so
fuck that is, but keep going. Wrap it up. Get to the
All right,
end of your
let me
story.
wrap it up then.
Yeah, Oceaga wasn't part of it.
If you're in
Let's
such
go.
a rush to wrap it up, you wrap it up.
Yo, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the people who contributed to the show.
yeah.
Until next time, thank you, Taigenz, for stopping
sir.
by.
Thank you for
Don't be a
having me.
stranger.
Yes. Thank you, man. It's dope. My first sit down like this is fun.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome
much.
back anytime, man.
Thank you, man.
You guys know how you can reach us as always. We're on Twitter and we're on Instagram at Don't Be Mad Pod, and obviously on Facebook through the live feed and through DMs and all that stuff. Don't Be
Only
Mad
Matthew,
Podcast.
don't DM me for shit.
DM Jamali. He's a lonely guy who likes to stay at home by himself and watching old school rap battles on his phone. So please, he needs a friend.
Yo.
Hey,
Really?
Lord of Lux and Murder
He,
Mook is a
he
classic.
needs a friend, please.
I don't need no friends.
Get him out the
No
house.
new
Take
friends
him for a
over
walk
here.
around the block or something.
What am I, a dog? Get the
Yes,
fuck out of
woof
here.
woof, bitch.
Wow.
This was the Don't Be Mad podcast. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Take care,
Man.
peace.
Peace.
Love is
Peace.
love.
Peace.